Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, where Florida beaches are one flight away. Featuring nonstop service on Allegiant Airlines to Tampa, St. Pete, and Orlando Sanford from Bloomington. Close, convenient, CIRA. More at CIRA.com.
Bloomington-Normal students and teachers are adjusting to new rules for phones at school. It's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Monday, August 25th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with a critical grant coming through for a Bloomington-based early childhood program for low-income families. WGLT's Charlie Schlenker has more.
Federally funded Head Start agencies across the country have been anxious in these first months of the Trump administration. The Project 2025 conservative blueprint that has guided many of Trump's moves calls for Head Start's demise. That was tough timing for Bloomington-based Heartland Head Start, whose critical 5-year grant was up for renewal this summer. Just last week, they found out their grant was renewed. Here's Interim Executive Director Chuck Hartzell.
We were overjoyed, and it created a lot of stress relief for our staff, parents, and boards.
Hartzell says the $4.4 million grant renewal signals stability to the community. That's especially important given Heartland Head Start's recent history. It has faced numerous leadership challenges, workplace culture complaints, and compliance issues. That was all before Hartzell arrived. He says the renewal is also important because it means his agency won't have to compete with others for the money the next time they're up for renewal.
So for the long term, it assures that Heartland Head Start, as it continues to operate in the proper manner, will be here in the community for an extended period of time.
Hartzell says the new school year is off to a great start, with the program carrying capacity for 224 kids. For the Leadoff, I'm Charlie Schlenker.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. Insurance industry officials are urging Illinois lawmakers not to give the state more authority to regulate homeowners' insurance premiums. Speaking at a committee hearing, they say market competition is a more effective way of regulating prices. Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state won't be able to make up for the Trump administration's cuts to university research grants. Pritzker said Illinois will do everything it can to help preserve higher education in the state, but he said the state can only do so much. And a new law in Illinois carves out an exemption to electric vehicle charging requirements when building new housing. State Senator Sally Turner sponsored that bill, lifting requirements for nonprofits who are building homes for at-risk veterans. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. Both Bloomington-Normal school districts welcomed students back to class last week. They also welcomed new policies regarding those students' phones. The changes aim to correct what many educators say is a major distraction to student learning, as WGLT's K-12 correspondent Braden Fogerson explains.
Some teachers at Normal Community and Normal West high schools wanted a more strict and clear policy regarding phones in school. The school district did adopt a new policy for this year, but it doesn't go as far as Unit 5's silent and away rule that exists for middle and elementary schools. Julie Hagler is the president of the Unit 5 Education Association, UFIA for short. She has spent nearly 30 years teaching social studies at Normal Community High School. In years past, Normal Community and Normal West did not have clear rules regarding phones. It was left to the teachers to decide when a student needs to have their phone put away. Hagler says that left teachers at Normal Community and Normal West high schools unable to curb the problem and unable to keep up with office referrals.
If phones are disruptive and staff refers students to the office, there is sort of a general sentiment amongst the staff that there are no consequences for students. They're not learning to change those behaviors. And so because of that, phones are becoming an ever-increasing problem.
Unit 5 conducted a study last school year surveying teachers about phones in the classroom. Survey data showed only 1 in 5 high school teachers were satisfied with the policy, and just 1 in 6 teachers felt that principals and assistant principals enforced the policy. Kristen Weichel is the superintendent of Unit 5 schools. She says the new policy took the teachers' concerns into account.
I think all of the information that either came from the committee, came through surveys of staff, students, or families, or from anyone who, has shared their perspective, helps shape our policy and procedures.
The new policy for Unit 5 high schools this year allows students to use phones in class only when a teacher grants permission and it is being used for educational purposes. The devices are also allowed outside of the classrooms before or after school, during lunch periods, and between passing periods.
My request to parents was knowing that it's going to take all of us to make it effective. It's going to take the educators in the classroom enforcing it. It's going to take the administrators enforcing the rules. And it's going to take parents and family support.
Many teachers spoke during Unit 5 board meetings to request the more strict silent and away policy instead. Julie Hagler from UFIA is not sure the new rule will significantly limit classroom disruptions.
Cell phones are explicitly designed to be addictive. And so unless we put really strong barriers in place, requiring students to have them silent and away, students are going to have them out.
Still, Hagler has hope the new policy will make a difference.
It's really going to come down to how that policy is enforced and administered by the administration in the 2 high schools here in town.
District 87 also strengthened its cell phone rules this year, in fact, much further than Unit 5 did. There's now a ban on cell phones in the classroom for Bloomington High School. That makes it a uniform policy across all K-12 schools in the district. Julie Riley is the president of the Bloomington Education Association, a teachers union which represents all certified staff in District 87. Riley also retired as a 7th grade teacher at Bloomington Junior High School.
Students are expected to keep their cell phones in their backpack or their locker and turned off pretty much from bell to bell from the morning until the afternoon. They absolutely shouldn't have them out in classrooms.
Riley spoke with WGLT on Monday. That was the first day with all high school students present.
The early reports are very good, though, that teachers didn't have to do a lot of time enforcing the phone policy. It's perhaps a bonus that our junior high kids are used to a cell phone policy.
Riley adds there's been little talk of any concerns about phones leading into this new school year.
The high school has a really strong cadre of building representatives, and they were definitely involved, as were the whole staff, in working with administration and putting this plan together. It was important to both sides that they had a plan that everyone could live with.
Bloomington High School teachers can take students' phones on the first offense. Repeat offenders may have to turn the phone into the front office each day. I'm Braden Fogerson.
And before we let you go, the Bloomington City Council meets tonight at 6 at the Government Center. On the agenda is an update on water quality in the city and some zoning code changes. And that is it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. The show is produced by Cheyenne Brown. You can subscribe to the Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.